Hey guys, and welcome to or back to the Pause and Pursuit podcast with your host, Summer Clark. So you'll probably see I'm in a bit of a weird location at the moment. It is because I've just finished recording Isabella's episode with her, which was super fun, and I'm just sat in the same position because I'm lazy, basically. Can't be bothered to get my tripod out, so here we are. Anyway, yeah, it was a really cool conversation. I'm excited for you guys to hear it. But before we jump into that, I'm going to give you my weekly recap. Now, it is currently Saturday, and I normally record my episodes on Tuesday evening. So I don't have too much to update you guys on, but I do have yesterday RVA to talk about. I've got another day at RVA tomorrow. So tomorrow is for YKC Jumping Cup qualifier. So we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed, me guys. I'll have done it by the time you're watching this, so go check out my social media at Pause and Pursuit to see how we did. But let me talk about yesterday at RVA. So yesterday was Champ Day. I went by myself. My mum was at work. Rory took over grooming duties, which was very much appreciated because I'm not used to being by myself and sorting out everything, basically. I like to give arrow to my mum and then do my own thing and then blah, 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 the whole pre-run routine. But luckily I had Rory to do that for me, so big love. It was Champ Day. So jumping was first thing, champ jumping, and he had the fastest time, but he knocked a pole, which I was like, okay, I'll take that, because obviously he was the fastest 5 faults. Then we had a normal agility, which I used to train his seesaw, and mega. That seesaw literally made my week. So pleased with that. He literally stopped like in the perfect 2-on-2 off position. I put it on my story. It was so good. Anyway, then we had champ agility and we won. Literally quite a tricky course at the end. Very tight. He really had to listen, but he did. So that was amazing. We won that by 2 seconds, which I was like, yes. Love you, Mr. A. And then we were running 15th in the champ final. And tunnel under A-frame, wasn't it? And this time I was like, okay, so Axtane, it went wrong. He went in the tunnel instead of the A-frame, even though it was really not obvious because he patterned it from the agility. So I was like, 1, he's not going to pattern it from the agility because that wasn't in the agility. So I was more confident. 2, I was like, right, this time I'm going to say arrow come first and keep my arm down and my shoulders pointed towards the A-frame, a little bit to the left of the A-frame. The tunnel was to the right. So I was confident. So I did that, turned around. What had he done? Gone towards the tunnel. But he hadn't gone in the tunnel, he'd just gone towards it. And when I yelled at him, he came round. So he came round the A-frame. So he picked up 5 faults. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to win now. So I just sent him back over the jump and completed the rest of the course. Luckily, I then not luckily, but I then found out that he had also knocked over the highest part of the long jump before that bit. So that was less annoying. Because I was like, well, that would be even more annoying if, say, he went clear, but just not the long jump. And say he had the fastest time, whatever, I'd be so annoyed. I was about to say kicking myself, but that's not a me problem. But you know what I mean, I'd be even more annoyed. So it is what it is. It's coming. He was flying. My new approach to handling him attacking the course is incredible. Like, I have a new love for the sport now. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's so much fun. I love pushing him. And it makes him run so much better. So I was still really pleased with his champ final run. Like, the rest of it was beautiful. He did some really cool skills, some really hard bits. His seesaws, he's starting to actually go the other way and get a bit pushy now. Hence why I trained it in that normal agility. So he was terrified of it, wasn't he? So I haven't been putting him back on, making him do 2-on-2 off, because he's only just been like going past the pivot point because he was scared of it. So I didn't want to make it a big thing. I just wanted him to go on and get him off. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, now he's confident. He is pushing it. And I mean trying to come off too early. So I'm going to set it up in the garden again and start doing it more regularly like I used to in the last few weeks before EO. But yeah, so #nervous dog struggles. The minute they go, actually, confident with this now, a bit of naughtiness comes through. So I can't be mad, but still. So that was my day at RVA. It was a very nice day. We got away with no rain, which was nice. And yeah, so we're going back tomorrow. Just had a chill day today. Was going to go to the gym, was like, no, Summer. I woke up so tired. My back was aching from deadlifts the other day. I was like, if I do my leg day today, I'm probably going to pull something because I'm so tired after yesterday and getting up at 5 a.m. and driving. And I think I got home at like nearly 8 p.m. I was like, no, we're going to have a chill day today, and then we're back tomorrow. YKC qualifiers first thing. So I've got my fingers crossed for that, because we haven't qualified for anything yet, because I haven't done that many qualifiers. And the one I did do at Nottingham, we got loads of polls. Well, one poll in each, didn't we? So that'd be nice. Let's not leave it till the last 2 qualifiers of the year again, please. So we'd at least like to get that. So yeah, you'll know by now how we did. I'll know by now how we did. But that's all I've done so far. Yeah, and then Monday, Tuesday will just be normal day. So that's all I've got for you for now. But yeah, that's my weekly recap. Without further ado, let's get into the episode with Isabella, where we're talking all about how Isabella became the 250 junior world champion at WAO this year. I knew I wouldn't get that all right without butchering it a little bit. Typical. Anyway, yeah, you're going to really enjoy this episode, so let's get straight into it.
So I'm 18 years old and I'm from England, and I compete with 2 dogs. I have a small dog, she's a Papillon called Fidget, and she's 2 years old. And then I also compete Rio, who's a working sheepdog cross, and he's 10 years old, so he retires next week at WAO. So
oh, bless him.
He's down to 1 dog soon.
That's so nice, though, that he retires at such a good event. That's so cute.
Yeah.
And he's Steph's, isn't he?
Yes, so he doesn't belong to me. Yeah,
I thought he was just a full border collie, but he's a cross.
No, we don't really know what he is. Yeah,
right. Okay, he's quite big, isn't he? I suppose when you think about it. Yeah, bless him. So the first question then: how often do you train, and does this change during the build up to an important event such as WAO?
I train my dogs not very much. To be fair, I train sort of once a week, like course running, and then throughout the week I'll just do little skills sessions. More with Fidget. Rio, I'll do more like grid work, fitness side.
Yeah.
But for Fidget, I'm still developing her skills and that kind of thing. And around the house training, doing like weights and stuff, because she's absolutely rubbish at them.
Oh, bless her.
They're just like built into like everything we do is just like built into that.
Yeah.
But most of their fitness work really comes from like walks and that kind of thing, not really like horse running.
Yeah, so there's more everything like behind the scenes stuff than the actual agility. I think people don't realise that has to be done a lot of the time. So yeah, no, that's true.
I don't actually do that much agility at home. And then, I mean, in the lead up to like a big event like WAO, I would train a little bit more frequently in a week. But I mainly just try and do like really short sessions. So like 3 obstacles rewarding like everything, just to kind of reinforce that, because especially for Fidget as well, she gets quite complacent with agility.
Bless her.
So the more she does, the less she listens.
Oh, okay, so interesting.
The less she does, the more she wants to then work.
Okay. That's really interesting. Yeah, Arrow's the opposite as well. Like, if I stop doing anything with him, he comes back and he's terrible. So I have to do, like, almost too much with him sometimes. I'm like, I feel like I'm overdoing it. But I know it'll be terrible if I don't, so I kind of have to. I think I also forget how young Fidget is. She's 2, is she?
Yeah, she's 2.
Wow, she's amazing for a 2-year-old. She's so good. Have you found that she's kind of a natural? Like, she just picks things up really quickly?
Picks stuff up really easy, but also picks up the bad stuff quite easy too.
Okay. So, does she kind of like pattern the bad things, if that makes sense? If she does it once, okay, that makes sense.
But no, she has been really easy to train so far. So
just doesn't like waiting. And to be fair, what dog does? That's totally fair. Bless her. So what did your prep for WAO look like then, roughly? Obviously, there's probably quite a lot to it, but...
Mainly just, I didn't really change that much. I trained a lot more kind of varied times of day, just because over there, obviously, they start a lot earlier and they finish a lot later.
Yeah,
and
true.
Big courses, so I would train her like one day really early in the morning, and then like an evening session. So just kind of making her work around times a little bit more. Obviously she's not really had to do that because she hadn't been competing a year at that point, so just trying to get her a bit used to different things happening. That was my main kind of thing that I did that was like really different. And then I also set up a lot of games kind of set up, so like really weird stuff that you just would never see, like weird lines, weird that kind of thing, just to get her really listening and pulling off stuff, which I think I probably overdid, but
I mean games just blows my mind. Like, I've only done it once, I've only ever done 1 tryouts, and it's so hard, like it's so stressful. Like, I bet it's getting used to it's quite difficult, like when you're used to following a set like certain numbers.
Yeah, definitely. And I did a games lesson beforehand and went to a couple of shows that had games classes, just to kind of get my head in the game, because we don't do it enough over here to like do what we're doing.
Literally, we barely do it at all, actually, do we?
No, because I think really
they do it at CSJ, don't they? But I've never done that, so I should probably do that. But I think that's one of the only ones, isn't it?
Yeah, so I did like some of the A for all shows just to try do some games.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, you need that practice.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I think some people say to me, like, I only train once a week as well, and people are like, how are you competing for Team GB and stuff like that when you only train once a week? But I think if you're doing the other stuff, like around agility, it's fine. Like, you don't actually need to, like, hammer the agility too hard, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
For sure. So, what were your goals then going into WAO? Did you go in thinking, right, I want to get the 250 world champion, or... what were your kind of goals going in? Was that something you thought was, doable for you? You kind of had it in the back of your head?
No, I mean, obviously going into anything, you've kind of got to go in thinking, like, you want to do the best you can, but I really didn't expect anything. I was hoping for a medal, but really that wasn't something that I was kind of focused on. I was more, my kind of actual goals that I thought were achievable was a clear round into
Yeah, wow. Far exceeded that then.
And just like keep our criteria, which we didn't keep all of it, but most of it stayed. So I was happy with that. And then obviously the result was just a bonus, but I really didn't expect anything, to be fair.
Yeah, especially with it being so young, I think you always go in with slightly less expectations when they're less experienced. I think definitely. So I bet that was a very nice surprise.
Yeah. So I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. By criteria, do you mean like contact, stuff like that?
Yeah. So I mean, our seesaws have been like our nemesis. So I trained them so much going up to it. Yeah. And I kind of went out hoping that had worked, and it worked for like one run.
Okay, yeah, and then she was like, I can get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like start lines, obviously over there at WAO, you cannot like go back to the dogs once you've crossed the first dog. So when she sat up, I had to try and get her back down from
without going.
Yeah. It was really tricky.
God, yeah, I bet.
Her, like where she's so pushy, she was like, "This is great."
Yeah. Do you get E'd if you go back to them, or just fall? Yeah. Oh, you get E'd. Oh, that's scary. Yeah, that's quite scary.
No going back. I was like, we've got to go with this.
Literally. Oh no! So if they break, you literally have to start running. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. That's horrible. Oh bless her. So. Where's the next one? How do you deal with nerves then before an important event? Because I mean, I've been doing agility for forever, but I still get like especially important events, I still feel those nerves. Like, how do you deal with that to the point where it doesn't like ruin your mindset for the whole run? Is there anything you do in particular, or are you just kind of used to it? Would you say?
I think I've grown up doing sports. I haven't done agility for like that long, but like I've always done sport growing up, so I think it's always kind of been there. Like I'm kind of used to it, but. Yeah. I don't really try and think about it. I think at WAO there was 2 runs that like stand out to me as I felt like ill going into them. Yeah. It was biathlon jumping because we were the last rotation and I knew I had to go clear, otherwise I wouldn't. My faults were too far down, so I was like, I have to go clear, and it had crap in it that I'd got 5 faults on in the last class. So I was really stressed out before.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I can't think about it though because I've got to do it. So I just try and like take myself off and kind of just do my normal thing and try not to think about it, because otherwise I get worked up about it.
And not letting other people like get into your head either, I think is quite hard. Like even if people are trying to help, sometimes it can really throw you off, can't it? Or like put added pressure on.
Yeah, my mum's quite good now. Like she just leaves me. She'll just like me, and then that's that until after the run. So I have like a good 10 minutes at least, just me and Fidget, and then
that's good.
Like Anthony was there when we went through to run, but he's also very good. He knows when to say.
He's quite chill, isn't he? So I think that's fine. That's quite a chill demeanour, bless him. Also, just quickly back to seesaws. I've just thought as well, how much does Fidget weigh? Because she's so tiny, it must take forever. Is that why she struggles? Because it takes so long, she gets impatient.
I think she's about 2.5.
Wow, that's so cute.
Especially Gallican, like it doesn't seem to tip as quick for her.
Well, I've had issues with Arrow, and he's 10 kilograms, and I've had issues with the Gallican because it doesn't go down as fast. So I can imagine 2.5 kilograms. Bless her. Yeah, that's insane.
She's not scared of it at all. I kind of wish she had a little bit more fear for it. Yeah. He just like gets to the end and it gets halfway down, and she's like, "It's quicker to jump, Mum."
Yeah. So. God, it's because every seesaw's different as well, isn't it? So like you train on certain ones, and then it's different at the next show and stuff. Maybe one day they'll all be the same.
Yeah.
We can hope. Yeah, bless her. So what does your pre-run routine look like then, and how does this help you? So you said about, dealing with nerves and stuff. What is that pre-run routine that helps you sort of get in the zone?
So I like to have, for any run, I like to be there early, especially if it's one that's like strict running order.
Yeah.
I'm not the sort of person that can walk in 10 dogs before and be ready to go.
Yeah, me too.
So like at WAO, I had like a proper list planned out of like the time I needed Fidget there.
Yeah, good plan.
Which was way too early, but luckily she's really chilled out and she just chills out anywhere, so it doesn't really affect her. And then once I've kind of settled that she's there, I'm not going to miss it.
Yeah.
I'll like warm her up a little bit, so just kind of like get her running round, but nothing too much, and then kind of warm myself up and then go back to her. And I think doing that kind of gives me time to think about what I'm doing and not be worrying about her.
Yes, yeah.
And like we kind of keep a bit of space from each other, which sounds weird, but she's not like jumping and barking at me the whole time.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That kind of thing, having like that boundary of like, this is for you, this is for me, this is for you again. Like that definitely works for me. Yeah. And then that's kind of my main thing. And then I just go through the course all the time. Yeah,
mentally walking.
Focusing on those parts that I need to get right that potentially might not go so right.
I think half my course walking is probably mental, actually. Like I walk it maybe 10 times and then I'll be like, right, now I'll just go off and think about it.
Yeah, definitely. I don't like walking courses too much. Like otherwise I overthink them.
Yeah, true.
I'm better just go out and think about them.
Yeah, or you see someone walking something differently and you're like, oh, maybe I should do that. And then you're like, no, stick to the plan.
There before I do that. Yeah. Otherwise, and I'm just like, why did I do that?
Yeah. Have you ever like watched people run before you and change your mind last minute? Because I've done that before and it's been a great lesson because never again.
I did that in snooker like the year before. I copied one snooker plan.
Oh no.
And it's so bad.
Yeah, never going to do that again.
No, I walked snooker and we were the last rotation, so like obviously we could watch everyone.
Oh, okay.
But I just didn't, and I stuck to my plan from 8 a.m. I made the plan at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I stuck to it, and I ran it at like 6 p.m.
Oh
and
wow!
It worked. So I was like,
nice.
And I listened to myself.
That's a long day, isn't it? 6 till 6.
Yeah, it's quite early. So.
Yeah, early and quite late for a show to be still running 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then another thing I always do before I run, and I don't know why I do it, it has no link to agility at all. Yeah. But I always, just before I go in the ring, retie my shoes. I don't know why, but that for me, it's like, you're going to be okay now.
I know what you mean. I convince myself they're too loose. And it's almost as if I think they're going to fall off or something. I'm like, no, I'm not.
I might slip now, so I have to redo them.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Although I think it's kind of psychological, but it helps.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So whatever helps, it is what it is. Go with it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and I always pick her up to go into the ring. I don't know why I do that either. Because I did, for one run at WAO, I walked her in on a lead because it was kind of a bit more central, and she barks a lot, and that doesn't annoy me.
Did it set her off a bit?
I walked her lead, and it actually helped a little bit, but I don't still do it because I don't know why, I just don't like doing it. I like having hold of her.
Yeah, I feel like you may as well when she's 2.5 kilograms. Like,
it's not hard work.
It's easy, Yeah. Bless her. So what is your favourite thing about WAO then, as an event? Because obviously it's quite different to like what we have with our normal shows, and obviously JOAC, you've done that before as well. So what is it about WAO that you like the most? I think just the size of the rings and the courses is just like so nice, getting to run such big kind of courses. I mean, the atmosphere in the finals is like really cool, having like all the countries round, like everyone supporting each other, especially in games. Like when that whistle goes, everyone just goes crazy. Yeah, gotta bet.
Like you just want everyone to get home because that's kind of part and parcel of it.
Yeah, true.
I think that's a big part, and I like the structure of it as well, like the rotations. Okay. You're not you can all watch your own team.
Do you mean height rotations then?
So you're in like groups, and then the heights rotate. So there might be like 20, 40 dogs in like a rotation in a height. So it's a bit like CSJ runs. Well, actually, it's exactly the same as CSJ. Yeah. So yeah, but I like that because you can you still watch all your team, whereas like JOAC, you don't get to see that. So last year I had 2 dogs in 2 separate rings. So I was like, it was just chaotic. I like that. Yeah. I know where I'm running. I like the structure of it.
Because by the looks of it, is there like one main indoor ring and then a couple of outdoor rings?
Yes, there's 2 outdoor arenas and 1 inside arena.
And the indoor's the main one, is it? Where the finals are,
Yeah.
I'm only going off what videos I've seen, but...
So the team kind of moves around together, so it's quite nice. It definitely keeps them more of a team spirit as well.
Yeah, I feel like that would help everyone stay organised as well, like take the stress off a little bit.
Yeah, and it's the same, like, you know what height you're following, because it's running funny heights. So sometimes like 250 would start, sometimes 300 start, but and you can like pinpoint people from England and be like, right, when they run, I know.
Yeah. No, that does sound like a good idea. Yeah, all shows should do that actually.
Yeah, definitely.
So, do you prefer WAO or JOAC then, and why is this? Because obviously you've done both for a few years now.
Yeah.
So if you had to choose, which one would you say is your favourite, or is it quite close?
I like both. I've only done 1 year of JOAC, so I mean it's not quite like I haven't really experienced it as much. And it was, we hosted JOAC last year, so
I thought you'd been on before then. Was that your first?
Yeah, that was my
cool.
first year. Yeah, so obviously I didn't have like kind of the excitement of like traveling and all that kind of stuff, but for us, I think for England it felt a bit, or like the Great Britain team, it felt a lot more kind of a little bit more casual, because obviously we compete at Dallas Burton all the time.
Yeah, it just feels like Iconics or something.
It kind of a bit an iconic feel. Yeah. It was still amazing, and like just being all the juniors together was really cool.
Yeah.
But I think WAO takes it, and obviously like the results from this year definitely helped.
Yeah, definitely. The overall feel has got like a little bit more to it. Yeah.
There's a bit more.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I've run all my dogs at WAO, so I've had 4 dogs.
Okay.
I think it makes it a little bit more special that I've kind of experienced it a bit more.
Yeah,
that's my first international as well, so
yeah, it definitely makes a difference travelling to a different country. Like you said, it feels more like a big thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, JOAC was like 2 hours up the road.
Yeah, literally. On the doorstep, basically. Yeah. That's so true. So this is quite a broad question. How do you achieve such a high level of success with a young and inexperienced dog? Now, if I was answering this, I wouldn't know really how to answer it, because I feel like it's just, you just train them and do well. Like, I wouldn't say there's a particular thing, or what do you reckon?
Yeah, I kind of was thinking that. I was like, I couldn't say I did this and that.
Yeah, there's not a method or anything, no.
I think she had a lot of foundations. I didn't ever rush anything with her. Like, she had to understand something really well before I moved on, which I think then when I put that into like actual course running, it helped a lot, because her jump skills were quite like solid.
Yeah, true.
And she just had like good like foundations. She had that, like, that was definitely a good starting point for me. It was, none of it was really agility based. It was all like really vast, but it definitely moved into agility quite nicely.
To be fair, I would say foundations are the answer, really.
Yeah,
like
that
I think people think like moving on to the agility faster will mean success faster and stuff, but I actually think if you do the foundations really well, as soon as you move to the actual agility, it's kind of already there. Do you know what I mean?
Because I thought, I've trained some things quite late. Like, I didn't start some stuff till quite. I was like, there's no way she's ever gonna be like out this year. Like last year, I was like, she's not gonna be out this year. But actually, as soon as I started putting things together, it just kind of flowed quite nicely. And I think as well, she was quite she's always been really confident, always been full on, which definitely helps. But so like for her, she was like exposed to a lot of stuff quite young. She came to WAO the first year I was there. She was just under 5 months old, so
nice,
she kind of had to get thrown in at the deep.
That's perfect though, as far as like socialization goes, though.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
She takes everything in her stride, which is really nice.
Yeah. So. For such a little dog, she's got a very big personality, hasn't she, by the looks of it?
She doesn't think she's small.
Yeah. It's always the case, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bless her.
Thinks she's big.
Yeah. But that's just like, if anyone's worrying about rushing or not rushing their dog, that's just proof that you just don't. Like, you don't have to at all.
No,
and you actually should do the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. So how do you become the junior world champion at WAO? So as in, not how do you win, but like class structure. So how do you basically achieve that throughout all the classes, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so as a junior, you're against all the adults out there.
Okay.
So you gain points for what position you finish in a class.
Okay.
So say you finish 7th, you get 7 points. First is 1 point. You want the least amount of points.
Okay.
So there's 3 different classes at WAO. There's pentathlon, which is 5 rounds.
Yeah.
But you're only in the first 2, and then you progress to the second, and then the second 2 rounds, and then the 5th. So that's I think that's a percentage.
Okay.
Don't hold me to this, but that's a percentage. I don't know exactly what that is, and they dropped a percentage.
Okay.
And then I think this year for 250 it was double E's got dropped.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Brutal. And then Yeah. And then biathlon is a jumping round, and then the biathlon final is agility.
Oh,
so
okay.
for me, I was lucky. I picked up one elimination this year at WAO, and so that was out of 9 runs. I had one elimination, but it fell in pentathlon round 2. So for me, that worked best because I made biathlon and games final.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Pentathlon, I'd already progressed enough that it gave me like least points.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that worked well then. So, nice.
Yeah, definitely get the elimination in that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to keep, basically it's progression, and it's a real mix of speed and consistency, because you've got to keep going through the rounds, but also not finishing low, because obviously the competition it's tough out there. So
so you don't want to go for one or the other. You don't want to either go for speed or consistency. Like sometimes if you're doing like individual or team, it's like, right, do I go for speed or consistency? But you actually want it all, so you just have to yeah.
And then I don't know 100%. I mean, the whole time out there's no way of knowing really where you're standing
until last minute,
until the last run's done. So I think I went into the last run and I didn't really know what I needed to do. I knew there was a couple of juniors that were up, like there was probably 5 of us that were high up, like close together on points.
Yeah, okay. Like you could see each other's names near each other on. Yeah, okay, that's makes sense.
Seeing the same kind of names, and you were like, okay,
they're probably competition. Yeah.
And so I went into the last run just knowing like I just needed to get around it with the least amount of faults as possible.
Yeah, okay.
I think I picked up 5 faults in that run, which was a seesaw.
Okay, fair enough.
But I think that was what I got in that run. And I came out and I still had no idea where I stood, but I thought I was probably top 5 at that point.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I'm 4th. That's how I felt I was positioned.
Oh, interesting.
And a couple of the other juniors that were also 250 that are like friends of ours, like they were all trying to work it out, and I was like, I don't really want to work it out.
No, it's more stress, isn't it?
I know where I am when I don't.
Yeah, that's it.
So there was all this like going around, and they were like, I think you're there, and then you're there, and then you're there, and I was like, I don't want to listen to that.
No, there's literally just wait. Yeah. To be fair, I do that with champ finals. Like I'll sit there and be like, where will I be?
Yeah, definitely. So it's really tough actually as a junior, because you don't know what to go for. So
see, I was thinking that there'd be like
play it safe and get round that run, or go. So.
I was thinking that there were junior classes, but you're against the adults, so the juniors are mixed in with the adults. So I bet that makes it even harder to work out, because you're sifting through all the adults as well. Do you know what I mean?
And there's no mark, like there's no highlighting of juniors in the results, so you're just all named.
So you don't even know which ones are juniors unless you actually know them.
So there's a list that goes out before the competition.
Oh, okay. So you could find out if you wanted to.
It's tough to find them all when there's
wow, okay. Yeah, see, I was just thinking there'd be specific junior classes, but that's really interesting. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I suppose that's good, because you get the courses that the adults are running, so all the courses are the same. It's not like sometimes you go to a show and the YKC courses are like different to how a normal course would be. So I suppose that's a good thing.
It is really nice. I think that's cool. And also it's like cool being able to be against the adults, because for me, like obviously next year I'm going in as an adult to it, but
true.
I've got the confidence of she was finishing, like she was doing fine as like overall, like she wasn't scoring low.
Yeah, like you'd still be fine in adults.
So it's quite nice going into it with that. But so I literally had no idea where I was sat, and we were just waiting for the results to come through, and I actually went to the toilet. And in the toilets, and the notification came through, and it was like junior results were out, and I was like, and then my mum messaged me, she's like, look at the results.
That's so funny. You were just sat on the toilet like.
And then I came back out and I went and everyone was like, have you seen? I was like, yeah, I was in the toilet.
That's so cool. I did that at Crufts. I went to the toilet because I didn't want to watch everyone else after I'd ran, so I was like, I'll just go sit on the toilet. That's so funny. Amazing.
Very like chilled in some respects, because you can't do anything about it at the end of the day.
You weren't even expecting it. I quite like that.
I need fidget.
Literally, that's so cute. So have you ever encountered any training issues or setbacks with fidget, and if so, how did you resolve them? So you said about the seesaw and the weight. Yeah, my weights have definitely been something I've worked on a lot and seen improvement. From the first, so for GB trials this year, I did open showcase with her and the first round, and I found that all my faults were coming in the first like 5 obstacles. And she didn't have a good start line weight there. She was pushing and I couldn't get ahead of her. And then I went to Crufts and I got eliminated on jump 3 because she wouldn't wait. Was that in the jumping cup?
Yes.
Because it was a straight line, wasn't it?
It was a
so
straight
you had to
line.
lead out, and it was a straight tunnel.
Jump,
yeah.
And she kind of wrapped on number 3, which
okay.
was so annoying because it was such an easy.
Yeah.
It was an easy mistake.
Yeah,
that didn't need to happen.
Yeah, you just needed to be a little bit further out.
Okay.
I
couldn't get past the first jump. She was having none of it. So I went home and I trained it, and then I was like, my marker was the last round of GB trials. So I was like, if I need to have it for then because it's going to cost me, and I did, and she actually got the win on. So I was like,
oh, perfect.
That was a good.
good timing.
That shows that it worked. Yeah. But my seesaws are still in work.
Yes.
I've retrained them since WAO. I've been retraining them because CSJ was also it's every other competition I do. KC, I would put her back on it. No, I wouldn't hesitate to put her back. I'm not like desperate for the wins as such.
Yeah,
for KC,
definitely.
or like to try and progress. I've got like I've been looking at the bigger picture of I would rather be on the international team,
absolutely,
for example. So that's definitely kind of set me back KC wise, but
worth it though, I think.
I definitely think for me personally it's been that I wanted to achieve. Like my last year of juniors, that was the goals.
And it's not like she's like you said, she's not like nervous of the seesaw or worried about it, so you can afford to kind of stop her and be like no, and put her back on without her get freaked out, so that's good. I found like the seesaw's hard because she's just doesn't mess them up in training. She won't do a seesaw. Like she's perfect in training, and then I find like even if I redo it in the ring, I can't then reward her on her criteria. Because her criteria is on the seesaw. So at training she's like, I get a reward, so I'm going to do it. And in competition, she's like, why would I? No treat.
She's like, you're running faster than me. I'm like coming with you. And
exactly.
Like, but even if I stand with her, she still doesn't. At CSJ, I was like desperate to get a seesaw, and I was like, lie down, anything to do it.
And she still didn't.
Like,
you did everything you could.
I've been retraining it ready for JOAC, but obviously I haven't actually been to that many shows. Like in the last year, I've not really done that many, and so I have got nothing now until JOAC. So it's gonna come out there, but
true. I suppose we'll see.
I can't get more than 5 faults for the seesaw, regardless. So
exactly.
Whether this method works or the old one. Whichever one I went with, I had the risk of 5 faults. So I was like,
exactly. It's worth trying. It's trial and error often, isn't it? So. You don't know unless you try, so it's worth it.
And I've only got 2 seesaws out there, so I'm praying.
Okay, nice.
In her head, it just stays for 2 seesaws.
Yeah, hopefully we can hope. Just give a little talking to her. Be like, just do these 2. Just please, please. We're in training. Pretend we're in training. Bless her.
But for her, that's kind of been the main 2 things. It's more her patience. That's the issue.
At least she loves it, I suppose.
Yeah. So I haven't really had to overcome too much with her. I mean, these will be big when I get over them, but everything else has been quite easy in respect. Like she's very confident and that kind of thing.
Cool.
So I've been quite lucky with her.
Yeah. I suppose there's always going to be something, isn't there? Like every dog has their sort of their thing that is a pain, I guess. But the seesaw's understandable for a little dog, I guess.
Yeah, it's understandable, but
it's also really irritating. Yeah. I know what you mean. So, do you work on your own fitness as a handler, and do you think this is important for handlers in general?
Yeah, definitely. I've been running for about 10 years now. I train running and stuff. Last year, I was off the entire year with an injury, and it did really affect agility as well because I couldn't train at all. So I did it in December of 2022. So I literally came back to running in April of this year. So a month before WAO. So it was a really long time off, and it definitely affected, I think, my fitness for agility. And I tried to do as much as I could that kind of, so like I did loads of swimming instead to try and keep my fitness up.
What was the injury, if you don't mind me asking?
I had equal of tendinopathy in my ankle. Ooh. So it just was like consistent, and it was like it would swell up really like a lot, and I couldn't get shoes on.
Tendons are the worst, aren't they? They heal really slowly.
Yeah, and it took ages to get to the bottom of it, and then I had quite a bit of treatment, and then it actually cleared up really quickly. So
cool.
It just took ages to get to the bottom.
To find out what it was.
Definitely having like fitness as a handler is like so important because we're not even just running, like we're running and talking.
And not even just running like normally in a straight line. It's not even just running either. It's changing direction using your arms. Like it's everything in one go. Like, there's actually a lot to it.
Yeah, and then like I do some strength and conditioning training as well with my club as well. So all of that I think definitely contributes to kind of the agility.
Definitely. So when you say you've been running for 10 years, do you mean like, do you do cross country, or like, is it long distance running kind of?
So I used to do long distance, but I've kind of come shorter as I've got older. I've come down to like 400 kind of meters. So,
okay, so kind of a sprint then.
Yeah, I do track. Yeah, I haven't competed. Obviously, like last year, I didn't compete because of the injury, and the year before that, I was doing so much agility. I literally missed every competition. But I think, I definitely think that the training has helped, regardless of whether it was actually training to do better at running, but like just in general, it's definitely helped.
Everything adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Did you do the do you know how you got the injury? Was it like a moment, was it in the running on the track, or was it in agility? Because I've heard of quite a few people that actually
at track.
Yeah. Oh, it was a track, okay. Because I've heard of quite a few people that have like gone over and hurt themselves in agility, and it scares me. I'm like, oh my god,
really annoying and really stupid. I don't know. I think it was probably coming for a while.
Oh, okay.
Because it's kind of like one of those that just kind of builds up. But it was the Christmas session, and we were doing like relays for fun.
Yeah.
And I did my session, and then I was waiting for my siblings to finish theirs, and I was like, so I went and joined their session and did some relays with them. And I was like, my legs felt tight, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. And then everyone was like, you'll be fine, just keep going. And I was like, it was super fun. I was like, okay.
Yeah. And it wasn't okay.
And it was actually my mum noticed. She was like, your ankle doesn't look like an ankle. And I was like, oh yeah.
Oh no. That's terrifying. Yeah. Well, at least you're pretty much over it now. Thank God.
Yeah.
All these years later. Yeah. Oh. So how do you keep fidget fit outside of agility then?
She does a lot of like long walks over. Like we're quite lucky where we live. We've got big like forests in there.
Oh, nice.
Really hilly. Like I hate walking.
Yeah. You hate it, but it's good for the dogs. Yeah.
And so she goes out like every day for like a proper, like a good walk. And I think it's not at all like linked to the agility.
Yeah.
She just has a nice walk for
just
her.
Being a dog.
It definitely helps her fitness, and she's like constantly just running and jumping over stuff and chasing the collie, stuff like that, and that definitely helps her. And then I also do like conditioning work with her just to keep her.
It's proprioception, isn't it? Like through the forest and stuff like that.
Yeah, like she doesn't notice that she's doing it, but she is.
Yeah, bless her.
We'll often like take the dogs, and then we'll just do like hill reps a couple of times with them.
Yeah,
so
sprints.
As well for Rio, he's felt like that's really helped him because like he had an injury last year and he's come back from it, and we've done loads of like just building up his strength, and he's so much stronger from doing like the hill work.
It makes a difference, doesn't it? You can notice it.
Yeah, much more than flat work does.
Yeah, no, definitely. So how do you balance? I thought this was an interesting question because most juniors watch this podcast, so I feel like a lot of people will be interested. How do you balance school and preparing for and competing at important events? Because obviously agility is very time consuming. And it's like most weekends in the summer, and there's a lot of prep for these big events. But obviously, you've just finished school, haven't you?
Yeah, just finished A-levels.
So you were doing your A-levels. How do you balance that, like studying and doing agility at a high level? Because I feel like it seems a bit impossible.
Yeah. For me, like I had to just get my work done at school, because when I come home, then that's kind of work like done for me.
Yeah.
So I'd rather stay an hour after school and just study there than come home and try and do it, because at home, and then I'm like, oh, I could do this instead.
Yeah.
So for me, definitely just getting it all done at school and leaving school at school. Obviously, like revision and that had to happen at home as well, and in study periods. But I was quite lucky at my school. We got free periods where we could go off site as well. So
nice.
And had like middle of the day, I'd have like 2 hour free, so I could go home, train, and then come back again.
Oh, perfect.
So, and I kind of or do the work in that time, so I could then train in that. But in winter, definitely going home at lunchtime to train in the daylight was help.
Yeah, otherwise you come out of school and it's just black.
Literally dark, and I can't do anything.
Yeah, no, that's ideal. I suppose that's a good thing as well about A-levels, isn't it? It's not like a set 9 till 3 or whatever school is these days.
Yeah, I found like GCSEs was much harder to kind of do that, because I was be at school till kind of 4:30, and it would be when I left school.
It's literally all day, isn't it?
Not when I go to school. So
yeah, that's it.
It was darkness, so that was always a bit harder, but it's definitely was helpful having that. And my schools have always been really good actually at allowing me the time off to compete. So I missed my GCSEs and my A-levels for WAO because it fell right then. So crazy. Obviously they had to sort all that out, but they've always been really good at that.
Did you do it before or after then?
No, so you never actually sit the paper.
Oh.
So Yeah.
Really? That's crazy.
So if you miss the paper, you just sit. So paper 2 for example, I had geography while I was at WAO. I missed that, so I just sat paper 2 and 3, and then they obviously I don't know how it's worked.
Oh, so they just take the results from that.
They take the results from that, and then I guess against the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Whatever the average is that got the same as you, that's what you get. So it's a bit. Okay. It's a bit scary not knowing.
That could go either way then, couldn't it? Yeah, okay. I feel like it's definitely worth it though.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Especially like, what do you want to do agility as a career? Like, do you want to be a trainer?
No.
Oh, do you not? Okay, interesting. Okay.
I want to keep that as like what I enjoy doing. I don't want to put it as
that's fair.
my job.
Yeah, that's fair.
I quite enjoy having like completely different.
Yeah, true. I was going to say, I suppose going to WAO is kind of good school anyway, because you're, if you want to do it as a career, then you're kind of getting that experience. But if you don't, then still.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think like for me, I mean, I wasn't the most academic at school by far, like definitely not. So I gained more going to WAO than.
Definitely, yeah. I was the same. I ditched exams as soon as I could because I was like, no, too scary, can't do it. Brain can't handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you did a good job of it anyway. Hopefully you get good results.
Yeah. If not, I've got a rosette and a medal.
Exactly. At least you got something during that period.
Yeah. I'm not sure an important job will accept the rosette. Like, look what I want.
Yeah. Oh, well, they might do. Shows commitment,
Yeah,
all the best things. So, do you prefer running small or large dogs, and why is this? Because obviously Fidget and Rio are like the polar opposites as far as, they must feel completely different. So which one do you prefer? And also, a bit of a bonus question, which one do you find easier or harder? Kind of compare the two.
I find, to be fair, I really love both heights, and obviously they are the complete opposite end of the scale. Like Fidget's 250 at 250 events, and Rio's like the big 600.
Literally huge, yeah.
It's proper different. I definitely look forward to running Fidget. I always look forward to going to anything with her, because I think obviously she's like my own dog, and Rio lives with me, so he's also it's not that I prefer running her, but I think I got more excitement from running her.
Yeah, because you fully trained her.
Well, yeah,
it's more rewarding in a way.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
And I get more excitement running her because she's young, and I'm still testing everything out with her.
Mm-hmm. And there's loads of improvements to still make and stuff.
Yeah. And Rio's definitely my comfy shoes, put them on, and he's kind of my Mr. Steady Eddie.
Yeah.
We know what we can do, which I also really like.
Yeah, true. I guess it's nice to have the balance.
Yeah, I find actually running them, they run quite similar.
Oh, really?
Despite the size difference.
Yeah, okay.
Their actual, how their brain works in agility is quite similar. They're both, they think a lot.
Yeah.
They're very literal as well. If I say left, they're going to turn left no matter where.
Yeah,
so,
that's good. That's good.
I quite like that they're quite similar like that. But I think if I had to choose, I would say I get more of a wow factor running Rio.
Yes,
like the large dogs. I think that's got a wow factor to it.
Yeah.
But I also love that all the small dogs literally do the exact same as the big dogs. The dog walks the same height. They're literally throwing themselves the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think I could choose, to be fair, but I'm definitely going to miss obviously Rio will retire, and this time next week he'll be retiring. So I'll be missing it a lot, but
it's going to feel weird going back to one dog, do you reckon?
Yeah. Definitely. It's when I stopped, obviously Dust was intermediate, and I ran her for 2 years, a lot, and I'd be at a show and it'd be intermediate, and I'd start listening to the announcements.
Yeah, and then you'd be like, oh no,
I don't have an intermediate. Yeah, I don't need to listen to this.
Oh so, that happened to me with small as well. I was like, wait, now I'm medium now.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
I suppose it's hard to choose because it's not really a height thing. I feel like it's more a dog thing. It doesn't matter what height they are as much as what kind of dog they are, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's a tricky one. But I think the more heights you can kind of experience, the better handler you'll be in a way. I always say I'd like to have a large dog one day just because I never have. Just to try it in a way.
I haven't run medium. I'm I would like a medium.
Yeah, I want a medium next.
I don't really know why, but I just feel like I want to have ticked every.
Yeah, I think it's a curiosity thing. It's how would that go?
Yeah, I think going forward, I definitely would still want to have like a large dog, but not right now. Like, I don't think that my next couple of dogs would be large. I like the small dogs as within the house. Like, I like the small dogs.
That's exactly what I say. I'm like, no, I like a little dog to pick up.
They're easy.
Yeah, literally. They can sit on your lap on the sofa. It's nice.
I mean, Rio still does that, but
I mean, that's very true, actually. Yeah, you just get suffocated.
Yeah.
So last question then. What are your future goals for Fidget going forward now?
So this year, I mean, the only thing I've actually definitely got this year is JWAC. I haven't entered anything else because I'm going travelling. So JWAC, obviously, I'd like to do well there, but I'm going into it quite similar to WAO with she's still only 2. Like, she's not really got any more under her belt really from that. So I think definitely just going to try and get 4 clears would be my main goal.
Yeah.
She's never going to be the quickest. There's quicker dogs out there. I can't do anything for that. She's tiny. She can't go any quicker than she can.
Her legs are moving as fast as they can.
Yeah, and she can only cover a certain amount of ground. But she definitely going for the 4 clears would be really cool. Obviously, 2 of them will be for teams, 2 will be individual. Like, obviously, big goal would be a medal, but realistically, just trying to get as many clears in as possible would be that kind of goal. And then going forward from that, kind of going into the senior year of my, like, this will be my next year will be my first year as a senior for everything. So from my gold medal this year, I've got every event at WAO next year, which is quite nice.
Perfect. Yeah,
so I've got a good shot at giving it every event a go. I haven't really got the pressure of getting onto the team.
Yeah,
which is
true. That's nice.
I've got a nice time now from JWAC onwards. I've got a good few months to just kind of train stuff.
You got something to work towards, which is good.
Yeah,
like knowing it's happening.
So getting a medal in seniors next year at WA would be really cool. I think it's quite a goal. Like, I want to try and do, because this year she missed. Like, so she could have got bronze in biathlon if she had missed her seesaw. So that would be like. It's obviously everyone can say that, you know, every other 5 folks could have said that, but
but that's more. I feel like that's more annoying because it's like she didn't technically go wrong. She just came off too early.
So yeah, definitely for WAO I would go for a medal. That would be a goal, and being able to. So this year I felt like I just handled the courses. I didn't push her. I tried to get around them. Because she did have speed. Like, in 250 she had the speed on her side that she wasn't going to get time faults or something. So I definitely just was going for the safe option, but in seniors obviously I'd need to push a lot more, which I think is quite exciting.
I was going to say I think that adds a new level of like adrenaline. Yeah, definitely.
I kind of always have just run her to get round something.
Yeah, and she's already so quick, so imagine when you're like proper pushing her, she's going to be rapid.
So, yeah, definitely. And then I think just over winter, just seeing if I can move up a couple of grades actually just getting my seesaw in the ring would be that would be amazing.
A good seesaw, job done.
I just would like a seesaw in the ring, but over winter, just trying to get up a couple of grades, and then trying out for the senior team for GB, just go for it really. But
I was just going to say that it's 18 for GB as well. I should know this, but I'm just so old I forgot. So it's 18. So this year, last year, JWAC as well. Okay. Do you get on? You get straight through to PSQ, don't you? Because you were juniors. Okay. So you'll be going for that with her.
Yes, hopefully.
Cool. Exciting. That's very exciting. First year as a senior is like, it's scary, but it's like a different kind of level. Like, it's fun. Do you get what I mean? Definitely. It's interesting. Yeah, no,
I think it's gonna be. It would be very tough to get on next year. I'm not like, oh, I definitely want to go. Like, I'm gonna be there, but like, I definitely want to give it my best shot. Is what I mean.
And I know I suppose it's nice because you know how young she is. Like, you know, you've got so many years to like do stuff. So it's like the fun period of just getting used to each other, I suppose.
That's why. For next year, it's definitely going to be that. Just like testing everything out. Really.
Perfect. Well, that is all the questions. Thank you very much again.
Cool. Thank you very much.
That was awesome. And there was my conversation with Isabella. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much, Isabella, again for coming on the podcast. Make sure to give Isabella a follow on socials. She posts loads of cool stuff, cool agility content, lots of videos. I absolutely love watching Fidget run. I don't know what it is about tiny dogs doing agility. They're so fast, they're so cool. I love watching them. So go and check her out and follow me on socials as well at Pause in Pursuit on pretty much everything. Summer Clark on Facebook, but you're all probably following and friends with me anyway. just thought I'd put that in, as I usually do. And if you're feeling generous, go give the Pause in Pursuit podcast a rating and a cheeky 5-star review if you'd like, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That would be great and mean the world to me. And with that, I will stop waffling and I will catch you all next Wednesday. Bye, guys.